Hello everyone, welcome to Shima Investigation. The story today has caused a huge controversy and discussion. This is Netizen who talked about his true experience. This is the most suspicious and terrifying stories. Many people believe that this story is true. They claim that their family and friends have similar experiences. Many people doubt the authenticity. They think that the person is just making fun. So I hope after listening to today's story, tell me your opinion. This happened in 2004. The Mickeys in Louisiana. One day, met a named Keela at. She was another college. When Mickey saw Keela, he deeply to her. So he started to pursue Keela. After a few months of hard work, he finally won Keela's heart. So they became a couple. After they stayed in Louisiana and started their own business. 2 years later, they married, and not long after, Keela was pregnant. That time, Michi's career was beginning, so she let Keela retire and live peace. When their daughter was, Michi had made a lot money and had money a family to live good life. So Keela decided to a full-time wife and live happy. 2 years, they had another child. This time, it's a boy. Michi loved his 2 children. Before going to work every day, she would go to bedroom to check the who hadn't woken up yet. Hole would sit around the table and enjoy that Keela had prepared. Then Michi would play games and then go to sleep. Michi was a successful woman with both she perfect winner. That's Michi lived happily for years. Her son was already 5. Everything seemed very beautiful until that day. This day, Michi was lying on the sofa watching TV. Suddenly, the light in noticed a red light in. It seems a little strange. There seems to be some dim light. So she sat down and watched this light carefully. But this time, the whole light became blurry. This made Michi feel very confused. She looked around. Everything else is normal, but this light became blurry. She rubbed her eyes, but the whole light is still blurry. So she turned off the TV and the light. Even though the light is still front of, she still can't see clearly. That Michi has always been good, and she didn't have any problems with. So Michi started to suspect that she wasn't sick, for pressed by to nerve. But except for this light, she can everything very clearly. This is completely incomprehensible, right? So Michi comforted herself and said that this might just be a temporary phenomenon. Don't bother her. So she lay back on the sofa and on the TV, but she was thinking about the lamp. But used the light to light the lamp, and the lamp still looked very blurry. Finally, she couldn't help but turn off the TV and came back the lamp and to light it up. And even more happened. This, though, was only blurry, but also upside down. This really Michi. She looked around again to make sure everything was normal. Except for this lamp. Nothing is blurred or upside down. He even began to suspect that he had a mental problem. Not long after, his wife and children went home. Michi decided not to tell them about this lamp first, because he didn't want his family to be worried and afraid. He wanted to figure out whether this lamp had a problem or something went. Then that night, their family played some games. Then they went back to bedroom to sleep. When everyone was asleep, Michi was on the bed thinking about the lamp. She sleep, so she climbed up from the bed and to the living room downstairs, sitting on the sofa, staring at the strange lamp. She watched hours. During this time, the lamp was blotted or upside down. Until next day, Keela found Michi sleeping on the sofa. She Michi up and asked what happened to how did sleep on the sofa. Michi woke up and went to see the lamp. But the light was still blurry. Michi decided not to his wife it. So that she wouldn't worry, he just said he felt uncomfortable and needed rest. So Michi didn't go to work. But next 3 days, Michi didn't go to work. He just sat on the sofa and stared at the lamp. Keela also noticed Michi's strange behavior. She kept asking him what happened. But Michi never said anything. She just said she felt uncomfortable. Kayla also advised Michi to see Doctor. Michi told him that he would soon. But as time went, Michi's condition got worse. He started to what him? Know what Kayla said to him? He just stared at the lamp and didn't have any reaction. Kayla and called the family doctor to ask what that Michi could hear Kayla on the phone. But he couldn't do anything else. When Kayla called the doctor, Michi noticed that the lamp suddenly started to bigger. Soon, the lamp became as a room, occupying his whole vision. Then he lost his way. Not long after, Michi heard some noise. It seemed to sound and some screams. Then he felt a strong pain he opened his eyes, found himself lying on the ground. He saw a building that was Louisiana University, and many people were talking it. Michi didn't know what happened so he started to look around, crowd, looking for his wife and child. When Michi was still a policeman carried Michi through the crowd and put him on the back seat of. Then he started car. Michi sat on the back seat and asked the police officer what happened. The officer said they received a call, police, that there was a fight He, a strong football player, then fell to and back, was hit by. The whole person passed. Michi asked the officer where his wife and child were. The officer said he didn't know. But at that time, a terrible thought appeared in Michi's head. She suddenly understood everything. She suddenly realized that the light was not real, and her wife and children were real. Even her past 10 years' life were not real. It was all an illusion. It was in the 10 minutes, but the 10 years' experience were too real. It was the other experiences. Michi fell into a deep maze. After a period of treatment, Michi's body was fully recovered. But there was a huge problem. She was extremely depressed. After a long period Michi gradually accepted that her wife and child were not real. Michi said that she can't remember her family's true form now. She only dreams about her family. But when she doesn't remember, they said that's all Michi. Do you think Michi's experience is real or fabricated? I personally prefer this to real experience because the is too absurd, but it's real. If it's a story, it can more rational. About that strange light, I think it might be a protective mechanism. The brain wants this unreasonable incident to warn you it is in danger. After all, modern medicine is known too. Maybe only after a certain day when scientists reveal all the secrets, we can know the truth of. Okay, that's today's story. If you like my story, don't forget to like and subscribe. See next time.